Come on, let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front.
Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be.
Was that Burrow who went off the track there, or did I see things, Bob?
Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has.
There we go. Heli Whopper cam. I like Heli Whopper cam.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching us right around the world, ladies and gentlemen, or ohayo gozaimasu, as we say in this part of the world. Welcome to Suzuka in Japan for round 3 of this KRL season number 4. Porsche GT Cup style coming to you tonight. And boy, oh boy, we are back for another week. The chat is going off. Please keep those chats coming in. We would love to hear from you. Here we are with 8 minutes left in qualifying. You've joined us at just the right moment, Andrelli. And Burrow Dog says, what a ripping intro that is. To which I responded with, well, you're a ripper bloke, Burrow. Hello to you. Great graphics as well, says Voodoo. Thank you, Andrelli. Saved me from doing it again. Fantastic stuff. They're up and about in the chat. We're up and about in the commentary box, and we are up and about in all departments, talking about some rather strange topics off air tonight. But welcome to you, Bullseye Bob Hoskins, who's been in the recording studio before coming on air tonight. Welcome to you.
Hello, possums! Good evening, Trev. Good evening, all. Yeah, we're here tonight at Suzuka. Looking forward to this one. Lots of changes of direction. I'm sure with a fast track as well. Yep, there's someone off. We will see a few offs in this opening first few laps.
Speaking of offs, we'll have a look at the drivers who are still on the track at the moment. Jono Stan at 96 across the line. These drivers, are they still starting their hot laps? And we learnt earlier on this evening off air tonight, Bob, the opposite of a hot lap would be a cold lap. But with 6 minutes and some spare change left here in qualifying, it's a very interesting time of it. We're going to take a look at these championship standings while we wait for the drivers to get acquainted with this circuit that it is a fast circuit, like you mentioned, Bob. 25 degrees air temperature, 28 degrees track temperature. And Voodoo, Nigerian Prince, getting in early saying, I'm looking forward to seeing Wilco binning it. And that is Nigerian for crashing. But we'll take a look at the results from last week, Bullseye. And it was the German Rifleman taking... And go! It was the German Rifleman, of course, Bob, taking a dominant victory last week, getting the Grand Slam last time around at Indianapolis.
Yeah, Gavea, we've got the name right now. Gavea was extremely quick last week. There was no touching him. From what we've seen or what we've heard so far from practice tonight, though, it's looking as if your main man is top dog.
And that's right, the man himself, the 2015 GT Academy champion, mentioned that a couple of times last week as we take a look at the Season 4 standings. And Bob, it's very tight at the top here in the championship. Mr. Consistency up there, 47 points. He does have some doubts, however, coming into tonight about how fast he can be around this circuit. And then it's Sidorg on 44 points, Clocate on 43, Figo on 33, and then it's the German Rifle there in 5th on 31. So still, this championship is open to anybody, and we're only at round 3.
Yeah, dead right. You know, it's nice and tight, and it makes for good competition. So, yeah, although Wilco's got that overall lead at the moment, yeah, he's going to have to fight for it this season.
And you can see the German Rifle there, 204.257, setting the early pace. And we had spoken to Wilco off air, our championship leader, earlier this evening. He did say that he was struggling with some rear end grip around this circuit. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a circuit for it. You got 130R. If you're not delicate with your inputs and you're not carrying the correct speed, yeah, you're gonna spit off there. Lighting it up out of the hairpin, that's another area to be careful. Through spoon, that's another tricky area. So yeah, there's lots of areas for people to trip up. You just got to drive slightly within your limits here, I think.
Yes, 18 corners of this beautiful circuit, the Degner curves, the imaginatively named first turn, the Dunlop curve, the hairpin, the spoon, and of course the 130R, that famous corner. Plenty of great moves there over the years. Vibesy, what are we expecting from him tonight? He come in, was it last week he come in late? Oh, we've got somebody around at the hairpin, Bob. I think it's Dask, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, he's just teleported back to the pits. He'll get his fresh tyres on, and out he'll go again.
Vibesy, of course, he come in late last week, Vibesy, and didn't exactly set the world on fire, did he, last week at Indianapolis, Bob?
Yeah, he had an unfortunate one last week. I'm sure he won't want reminding.
Ooh, as Craig, just going off at the spoon there. That I don't think that affected Mark too much, as we see Mark approaching the 130R here, and well, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, Bob, but stranger things have happened. One mandatory pit stop tonight for fuel only. Tyres optional, but you'll be willing to spend an extra 5 seconds there if you're looking for a new set of boots. Full formation lap, and I'm seeing all zeros in the rain department, Bob, but it is a little bit overcast nonetheless. And the one and only Mint Matt leaving it late for a lap. That's a bit of a tongue twister, Bob, of course, but he's coming out with 2.5 minutes to go in qualifying. He'll be hoping he doesn't get any traffic on his final run, or his first and final run.
Yeah, so he's only basically got, he is on a hot lap now, I believe. Is he? Let me just have a quick check. Yeah, he is on a hot lap at the moment, so he's only got this one and one more to set his time.
So he's cutting it very fine. Indeed, it is the German rifle. The rifle there, 0204.257. How do we say that name again, Bob, please, so I can write it down?
Gavea.
Gavea, that's right, the V, where the W is. Very German indeed. And that German rifle, he's been very quick at the moment, Gavea, with a 204.257. Look at Seidorf there. Just a kitten's nutsack behind him there with a .0073 time. 73 thousandths, less than 1/10. Blue flags, said Kemi. For what? For what? It's too fucking late now. Thank you, Kemi. Can't resist the urge, Bob, when those sound effects come through to mimic them somewhat. But here we go. Matt across the line onto the start and finish straight. What's it going to be, please, Bob? Give us a B, please, Bob. As he comes across the line, it's only good enough for 5th.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump on board with him now. I'll keep an eye on his times.
Correction, Bob. We will be jumping on board with him as the sun sets here at Suzuka. Through the S's, and he just looks a little bit cautious, doesn't he, on that accelerator pedal. These Porsches, and you can see, Bob, through the eyes of our GT Academy champion, special guest here in this championship. An absolute pleasure to have him along for the ride this year. And you've got to say, that rear end, he doesn't have a lot of confidence there as we head through the Degner curves.
Well, presently, he's 3.5 temps up, 4 temps up. So, although it may look a bit tentative, this is quick.
Very quick, here we go, into the hairpin, down to second, down to first. Green flags, a little bit twitchy on the back end, but this is quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be our pole position time.
Unfortunately, he's short-shifted and he's bled 2 tenths.
So he's lost 2 tenths. By my count, through the spoon curve, a little bit twitchy again. You can see that understeer as he comes through the second part of the spoon onto the back straight as we head to the 130R. Baker's dozen, 13 people watching. He's got the time back, Bob. This is still on for pole position. Rain of Fire, thank you for joining us as we come through the 130R. 6th gear down to 5th. Evening to you two legends, Rain of Fire and Voodoo joining us from Little Hampshire in South Australia. Into the hairpin now, taking a little bit too much curb there on the inside. But shut up, Kid Byers, what would you know? You're not a champion like this man, and we've got a double yellow flag, but forget about that because he comes across the line. It's pole position. I've gone a little bit early here, Bob. It's pole position. Yes,
Second.
Well,
Gavea popped in a lap while we were concentrating on Mint Matt.
And here he comes. The rifle might be popping in another quick lap here. A double yellow flag on the dashboard. Can there be another plot twist? Can he go even quicker? Comes across the line. Seidorf pops his Porsche into second place. Wilco with his personal best time. He says, no idea where I pulled that out of. I have an idea, he says. Don't get Voodoo too excited over there in South Australia as the drivers come back to the pits, Bob, and I try and remember which keyboard command gets me back to the broadcast camera, Bob. But it is Gavea in pole position, Seidorf in second, and Mint Matt in third, along with our championship leader in fourth. Wow, the championship contenders up at the business end as we get underway tonight.
Yeah, that's a brilliant time from Cloquet there as well. Auschwitz, obviously the brother of Gavea, 1.3 seconds back. So we would like to see a battle between siblings, but yeah, there's definitely a gap between those two.
No love lost between those two, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm not going to press any buttons at all, Bob, as I tell you, we've got 17 viewers here tonight on Twitch as we continue the race towards 125 followers. And who knows, we might get to that magical 200 mark that the Nigerian Prince has set the high water mark for, as we do have a long formation lap here tonight. As you can see, 18 drivers, in fact, racing here tonight. Gavea, last week's winner at
These guys
Indianapolis.
are impossible to race with. Impossible.
Impossible.
They cannot do the stars like this, you know. You cannot go into the corners crashing with other cars.
And Wilco, that might set the tone for him tonight, Bob, of course, because as we see Wilco starting from P4, is he a little bit harsh on himself here tonight? Our championship leader, who hasn't had the ideal preparation coming into tonight. Is it about damage limitation for Wilco here at Suzuka tonight? And also, Bob, I just wanted to put that buzzword in, damage limitation. Is that what it's about for him tonight?
No, he doesn't know to, try and go slow, drive within himself. He'll be pushing, so it'll be interesting to see, how hard he is willing to push, and then, as the race progresses, we'll see if he does resort to that damage limitation. But it's not really in his nature.
And there we have it, sending love to Rain of Fire, who might have a young one that's a little bit crook with the cold. Spawn Racing, hello to you, big welcome. And J-Mads Matterford, evening lads, and boy, what a time to join us. You do what you need to do, a Rain of Fire. I'm also coming off a bit of sickness earlier in the week. Hopefully my voice will last the distance here, but with 90 odd seconds to go before we get underway here tonight in this race, we're going to go to a quick word from our sponsors and be back with round 3 of this championship. Back soon. Come on, let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series, 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front.
Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be.
Was that Burrow who went off the track there, or did I see things, Bob?
Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has.
Sorry, we went to car racing.
Thank you, Toto. It certainly was a motor race. Thank you, Michael Massey, as Gavea leads us away. Perfect timing there, Bob, redeeming those kit coins. Keep those sound effects coming in. We want to hear from you. Should be a scrap up the front, says Burrow Dog, and J-Mads, get better, Little Rain.
These guys are impossible to race with. Impossible. They cannot do the stars like this, you know. You cannot go into the corners crashing with
Thank you. We can rely on Geordie to get those sound effects. Nigerian Prince agreeing with Toto. I watched the final couple of episodes of season 4 of Drive to Survive. Everybody has a target on their back. That's for sure. Hopefully that's not the case tonight. But Gavea, our German man, will be holding onto that rifle, and are they coming through as loud on the stream as what they are in my ears, Geordie? Please let me know, because wow, that is off the charts. But anyway, no, that's great. Keep redeeming those kit coins wherever you're watching, right around the world. Now tonight, 45-minute race here, Bob, as we see our field stream around on this long formation lap. Now, when we say normal race, our viewers at home might be thinking, what on earth does that mean? We have 2 different types of racing here in this championship. Endurance rounds, of course, which go for 1 hour, and the normal rounds, which only go for 45 minutes.
Yeah, so 45 minutes, you know, it's a decent race length, you know, not to lose your concentration and such like. As you push past that, yeah, you start to see, you know, strange mistakes happening, that the tyres degrading a little further. But in these cup cars, 45 minutes is still a long race.
Certainly is. Plenty of time to get things wrong, plenty of time to get things right, as Mint Matt there just getting very close with Sidorg. You can see not a great race last week for Mint Matt, but he did say after the race last week at Indianapolis, Bob, that he did have a few wheel issues, and I think he had a few settings from his Gran Turismo days.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure, you know, what would have been changed by the mode that he was in, but yeah, he was possibly driving with handcuffs last week, so hopefully we'll get a better indication of if that GT7 pace translates into ACC.
Wait and see. Don't talk about handcuffs, especially when the Nigerian prince is around. Don't talk about it with me either. Going through a bit of a drought at the moment. No, just kidding. But we do have 20 people watching this stream. And ladies and gentlemen, that means you can give me money by... No, I'm just kidding. you can follow our Twitch channel if you aren't already following. That would be absolutely fantastic. And who knows, this field bunching up very tight. It's about staying in your lane, isn't it, Bob? Fantastic! There we have it. We've got a new follower, Bob. Vipers is now following, and those alerts are working beautifully. Murray Walker there on your screen. Let's hope Murray can disappear. There we go. Thank you for that, Murray. But we are ready to get underway. It's Gavea Sidorg, first and second. And then it's our GT Academy champion over from GT7, Mint Matt, one of my favourites, Matt Simmons in third, Wilco in fourth. We're almost ready, Bob. Can you feel the tension? We're not too far away, ladies and gentlemen. 18 drivers staring down into turn one here at Suzuka in Japan. 45 minutes ahead of us. We're ready up here, Bob. Are you ready at home, ladies and gentlemen? We're almost ready. Take a drink every time I say ready. We're getting closer, we're getting closer. It is green, it is going already. We've got a couple of drivers with drive-through penalties. One of them's Clocaine as we head into turn one. And it's the German rifle, Gavea Jawohl, mein Führer, ahead of Mint Matt, who's slotted into second. And it looks like Sidorg has had a bad start as all the drivers get away cleanly. Not sure what happened there. Mint Matt, though, in second position. And we've got some contact. Clocaine, the man who had a drive-through penalty off the start line, if you're not mistaken. Bob looks like he's off already. And one of our championship contenders is right at the back. And we're only halfway through lap one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to see. But the way the first laps go here at Suzuka, there's normally some kind of issue. There we have it.
Opening lap of this one, Clocaine with a drive-through. You can see there he's down the back behind Kilroy. But it's Gavea as the leaderboard sets itself back. What it needs to do there, Gavea, the German rifle, leading this race. He dominated last week at Indianapolis, and he's doing the same again. Mint Matt with a moment there, coming through the hairpin. And then it's Sidorg in third, as we got somebody around down the back. I didn't quite see what was going on there, but Wilco stays in fourth. Our championship leader, is it about damage limitation for him tonight? As we see a yellow flag further down the field.
Vibesy.
And Vibesy. Oh, Wilco having a moment as well coming through the spoon. It's all happening here, Bullseye.
Yeah, so these tyres, they're taking about 2 laps to actually come up to temperature and pressure. So this first couple of laps, it's going to be twitchy for everyone. It's just who can hold the nerve, you know, and ride out those little scary moments.
And there's been a few scary moments at the moment, almost as scary as my voice. Let's hope it lasts for the next 43 minutes. If you're just joining us, I was a little bit crook at the start of the week, but stuff that, because this is where it's at the moment as we come through to complete lap number one. And it's the German rifle Jawohl there in first place. Gavea with a 1.3 second lead. But then we've got Mint Matt keeping him honest with the fastest lap of this race. Then it's Sidorg in P3. Wilco, and is that Jono drifting down the order there? Of course, he's serving his drive-through penalty. along with Clocate. So things starting to settle down on lap 2, Bob, but what a hectic start to this race. Mandatory pit stops tonight, of course. And if you want to chuck some tyres on, you can do that too, but it'll cost you more time.
Oh,
and
Matt, all kinds of sideways.
And Matt, we saw a few moments in qualifying as that drive-through penalty has been cleared for Jono Stan 96 as we head towards the Degner curves there. And it's Gavea once again picking up exactly, Bob, where he left off last week.
Yeah, so, I mean, to pull out that kind of gap on the first lap while the car's not settled, yeah, that's a true indication of how much pace he's got, I believe.
He's absolutely flying. He was flying last week, and he's also flying this week. It's the German, it's the rifleman up in P1, Mintmat. And Seidel there, very close, only a few tenths in it between those two. Then Wilco minding his own business there, but sitting very pretty in P4 at the moment. Bob 2.9 ahead of Ausch Wizard, and the Germans in first and fifth. And that's a very interesting...
Oh, Jono around.
And Jono, is that the man who just cleared that drive-through penalty? Looks like it's after around the Degner curves there, Bob.
Yeah, so that's let Clocade through. So Clocade was, you know, right up in the pointy end of the field. So we should get an indication of how much pace he's got over the rest of the pack that he's chasing down at the moment.
There we have it. Thank you, Viper, for the follow. No Wuckers, he says, supporting the GT boys. Love all round. As Sideways Polka up there in 12th. Let's take a look at what's happening lower down the field. And it's Mayo very close to Sideways Polka. Speaking of Sideways, backwards around, I think that was Branchy there. As Mayo comes through onto the start-finish straight. So plenty of battles happening right throughout the field tonight.
Mark Ledwidge into T1. Lovely move. Oh!
And Craig, oh, yeah! Is that Craig off, Bob?
Yeah, that was Mark Ledwidge got the job done, and then the car just let go.
And it let go in a big way for Craig E.O. And he is down in 7th on our timing screens, but I think it's a bit more than that as he'll try and get back onto the circuit. And that's the thing, you can see damage on the front of that number 71 Porsche as we are on lap 2, and the viewers at home, Bob, want to know what is happening at the front. And it is Gavea calling him all sorts of strange things last week, but it's the German rifle still there in P1. But hello, Bob, that gap, 1.7 seconds. So second and third, Matt and Seidel there are sticking with him here on lap 2.
Yeah, so as they've got their cars settled, they're finding their rhythm. So the top three are all running the same pace at the moment. In actual fact, Wilco has closed up a little, so Wilco obviously feeling a little bit more comfortable in the car.
Zoom, 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 zoom. How good is this? And you can see coming up to the 130R, our race leader. It's looking a little bit dark and a little bit murky out there here at Suzuka. So many famous championship battles here. Speaking of this corner, Prost and Senna back in the day. And yeah, that's showing my age. But Voodoo, pressure makes diamonds. Don't see anyone beating Gavea. Unbeatable in the Rouge Cup Series earlier in the year. And nobody, well, it's that gap is 2 seconds, so he's not quite home yet. But he is the business here tonight. 38 minutes remaining in this race. Hello to you if you're new to KRL. It's great to bring this to you. And Viper, be interesting to see how Matt goes tyre wear wise.
Ask is having a look on Mark Ledwidge into T1.
And Dask into Mark into turn 1. Is he going to get that done? No, I think he's had to pull out. And Mads Manafort, when's our Cup car race, Voodoo? Asking the Nigerian Prince the difficult questions here tonight. Keep him honest, Mads, over there in South Australia. And Mark, he's not going to get through there, but he is all over the back of him, isn't he, Bob, for P7 here tonight?
Yeah, so I mean, the car should be settled by now, but obviously under the harsh pushing down of the throttle pedal, the back end is complaining a lot in Mark Ledwidge's car.
And you can see there, is Nigerian Prince wants to know, Bob, is it a compulsory stop for tyres? If so, going all out wouldn't be a bad start. You've got to stop, but not necessarily to get new tyres.
Just fuel. But if you believe that you can make up that 5-second deficit, take tyres. And as we have seen so far, in the other rounds, those that have taken tyres, they have risen to the top.
Cream rising to the top. There we have it, Voodoo, Nigerian Prince. Thank you for that. Voodoo just agreeing with what you said, and Wilco taking a little bit too much curb there into the 130R, lap 3 of this race. And it is Gavea having a bit of a, oh my goodness me, he's had a little bit of a moment there, but he's got a bit of time in his pocket, and you can see, can't you, Bob, the pace that this man's got. Even with a bit of a scruffy lap last time around, still maintaining that gap. It's 2.2 seconds back to Mint Matt, the GT Academy champion. Got to stay neutral. It's difficult with so many quality drivers and quality blokes in the field. As Sidorg in 3rd position now, dropping a little bit back from Mint Matt. And then it's Jason Wilkinson from Carrum Downs in Victoria. In P4, was he foxing us a little bit leading into this week's race here at Suzuka, Bob? He did say he was struggling, but he's keeping it all pointing in the right direction so far, and he's looking handy here.
Yeah, no, he's looking quite steady out there at the moment, but no, he didn't sound happy at all. He didn't sound comfortable in this car and track combo.
And you can see there, I think Dask has got the job done on Mark. It hasn't updated on the timing screens. And Viper shooting shots here. Shots have been fired, Bob. He says Sidorg isn't a quality bloke because he's a New Zealander, eh?
Well, I believe that is a bit of banter between some of these GT racers.
There we have it. Thank you, Burrow. Says Sidorg is my boy. Oh, he's your boy, eh? Nothing wrong with the Kiwis, Viper. There's 35 minutes left in this race, and we're only on lap 4. We're 10 minutes in. What is happening throughout the field? There's something going on with Mayo.
We've got a bit of a scrap further back, so we got Saint Sim, Kilroy, Branchy, all scrapping it out at the moment.
And there we have it. So this is an interesting battle here, ladies and gentlemen. 14th, 13th, 14th and 15th. And Clocaid is down in 16th, Bob. He had the drive-through penalty off the start, then he went off, ended up at the back of the field, and it's only Jono and Vibesy behind him. This is going to be really not good news for his championship challenge, because he's down there in 16th, well and truly off the points. Funnier things have happened though, Bob. Still plenty of time to go in this one, as we see.
I think if he keeps his head down, bum up, there's nothing preventing him from, grabbing another couple of points.
No,
he's closing his pack down ahead of him. They've got 4 drivers scrapping. While their attention is on that scrap, he's going to be clawing away at them.
Well, he might be down in 16th position. He's been in the wars, Clocaid. But one thing you don't lose is speed. And
Vintage Racer. He was off track. He is recovered, but I don't know if he's lost anything there.
And let's have a look. Head down, bum up, grabbing what, Bob, says Nigerian Prince, giving Trevor the ideas at the wrong time. I've got to say, it is getting late here in Victoria. We have gone down that path of handcuffs. Bob, just keeping it family friendly here this evening with 33 minutes to go in this race. Vintage had that moment, Bob, and now that's opened him up to a bit of a Mayo action here, I reckon, as we head through another lap here at Suzuka, here in Japan, host of the Japanese Grand Prix. Bikes, cars, you name it, they've raced around here. Famous circuit, one of many we go to on the calendar. Mayo having a moment outside of the hairpin. That's going to drop him back from Vintage Racer, but he's still inside that top 10. For how long, we don't know, but one thing I do know is that it's fantastic to have everybody watching here tonight on a Thursday night, 8:40 p.m. here in the Eastern States. 10 past 8 in South Australia, and whatever it is in the other parts of the world, including Perth, as we take a look at what Jono's doing down there, as we've got Vibesy into the pits, and out of the pits, I should say. And is that a case he's really got nothing to lose, Bob? Maybe getting that stop out of the way early in this race.
Yeah, so he may well have had a little bit of damage. Getting it out of the way early, you know, might have fixed a little bit of damage. The news at the moment is Mint Matt I think Mint Matt and Sidorg have upped their pace because they've dropped Wilco slightly, and the gap to Gavea is 1.5 seconds.
And yellow, no, that's okay. I thought there was a yellow flag there briefly. We've gone to green. And here we are then, Gavea, lap 6, and that gap is closing. You can see it visually closing on your screen, as Bob mentioned a moment ago. And you can see 1.9, less than 2 seconds now. And are they, I think they're both sort of tagging along with each other, aren't they, Bob? They're both in their own slipstream there at the moment, because they are absolutely on song here tonight, heading down to the spoon curve here, lap 6 of this race. Ticking down to 31 minutes left in this one. And Matt, who was in the wars last week, he was a bit of a late joiner for round 2 at Indianapolis, but for round 3 he is well and truly on the pace. And Sidorg, some quality drivers in this field. Battles right through as well. As you can see then, lap 6, Sidorg getting close, maintaining that gap there to a Mint Matt, a man who spent plenty of time, of course, on various other simulators, real-life cars as well. And Voodoo getting stuck into the Vino on his third line, starting to feel it. Moderation going out the window. And he's still...
Mayo is struggling. Mayo's dropped down to 14th, and he's just got a little bit unsettled. And that brought Kilroy straight into the scrap.
And Kilroy into that scrap as well. Not sure what happened there with Mayo. He must have had a moment, I think, Bob. That's okay, Voodoo. No need to be sorry. Come el vino. How is the vino? How's the wine? And you can see Saints in. This is getting very spicy indeed, down to the hairpin. And we see drivers do this, don't we, Bob? They make a mistake, and sometimes they can overcompensate a little bit. They can get a little bit angry in the cockpit, and they can try and overcompensate. And one silly move can usually lead to another. A bit like being on the golf course. You have one bad shot, and many other bad shots can follow. Not quite how I wanted to articulate it, but less than half an hour now in this race. When are we thinking pit stop strategy? I put you on the spot every week with this, Bob. I ask you the same question. Are we going to see drivers waiting to later in the race, or are we going to see them around the mid part of this race, or are they going to leave it extra late?
I think by the way the cars are twitching so early in this race, the temperature is coming down a little bit as well. I think we might see midpoint.
So midway into this race, we're going to see some...
Sideways polka went off between the two Degners, and that has let Branchy through.
And there we have it. Thank you for that, Luke, who's joined us. Oh my goodness, this is a fantastic race. Voodoo is in prime wine country there, and he's in the Little Hamptons, of course, over there in South Australia. But I am in Victoria, and we are in Japan here tonight. And if you can keep up with that, you're a better man than me, as Craig has got past Mark, I think. He's behind him on the timing screens, our timing screens here, Bob. But he is through, and he's just a little bit of a quiet achiever tonight. Luke, hello, Trev. How are you, Luke? Enjoy that wine, says Luke to Voodoo. And I've got to say that Craig, not too bad. We saw him in the wars a little bit earlier on, but he's slowly coming back through the field here, Bullseye.
Yeah, he's showing a good recovery drive. And tell you who else is on the move at the moment. After he got the overtake done on Mark Ledwidge, Darsk is now harassing Disco Stew.
And let's have a look. He is harassing him. He got past Markwood. We saw that move done a few minutes ago. Lap 8 of this race. Stop it, Luke. You're awesome, and you know you are. So just look, we're going to have to take this offline, I think. But Luke is. It's great to have one of our regulars too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, here on the channel. And it is great to have you. Bob's awesome too, he says. No argument from me here in the commentary box. I spend an hour and a half with him each Thursday night in close proximity in this commentary box, and I've got to say, you won't meet a nicer bloke. But lap 8 of this race, now that gap 2.5 seconds. So Gavea, the German rifle, is cocked and ready to go at the front. That gap 2.5, and then it's Mint Matt. And the pressure, is it getting to him, Bob? Because he's had a moment coming out of the spoon curve, and that's going to open him up potentially for Sidorg to make a move. But, well, we've seen Fernando Alonso go past Michael Schumacher here in the past, but you've got to be a brave man to get it around the outside there.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how he's followed him so closely through there. I thought he would have rolled off and just let that gap grow a little bit, but no, he's stuck with him. He's been applying constant pressure on Matt from lap 1, and he hasn't let up.
Here we go, side by side across the line. Sidorg gets ahead of him. Wow, Mint Matt has been passed. Sidorg up to second place in this race. You can see it happening. After Mint had a slight moment, Matt there having a moment outside, on the outside of the spoon curve, then leaving him vulnerable in the final part of the lap. But Sidorg is through. I've got a feeling that Matt's going to, he's going to let it go for now, Bob, but I think he's going to be back there in the not too distant future. And you can see...
Yeah, this isn't over. This is not over.
It's not over until the fat lady sings. Woo! And I wasn't going to do that, Bob, because it's not over yet. So technically the fat lady shouldn't be singing, but Wilco, that car is singing. He almost had a moment there through the Degner curves, and he's dropped 4.1 seconds now behind our top 3.
Yeah, so as the race has gone on, it's only a few tenths per lap, but you know the sort of pace that these guys are running at the front, it can be cruel.
And Viper there says Matt and Simon have a long history of banging wheels. There'll be no love lost there between those two mates. And no doubt about that, this is a battle that is showing no signs of letting up. We might even show what's going on as now they're coming up to traffic. So is that going to play into Matt's hands? As Luke wants to know more. What are the odds on Wilco complaining right now? 10 to 1. I think they're a bit shorter than that, but 24 minutes to go in this race. He's not going too bad, is he, Jason? Our man, he might take 4th place here tonight, unless these two, Bob, trip over each other. But that's there's still a long way to go. Matt and Sidorg, is he going to return the favour? But he's got a bad run out of that final corner.
Yeah, so he was a bit hot into the chicane and tried to recover it through the second phase of it, and yeah, he just got a bit loose on the rear end there.
And he's not going to return the favour this time around on this lap. As I don't know what my dog's worried about, because as Cloquet gets out of the way, and that will be so demoralising for Cloquet, won't it, Bob? Because down there in 16th, this was a man who's right up there in the championship fight, and unfortunately it has not been his night. As Viper adding a little bit of context to that previous comment, both ex-GT World Tour competitors, Sidorg, 2019 Nürburgring World Tour champion, Matt, 2019 Tokyo World Tour champion. And they've been going at it for the best part of 5 years, so plenty of history there, and they're still within 0.8 of a second here on the track at Suzuka tonight. So a bit of history there. Thank you. Great work there from Viper. Also, thanks for the follow, Viper. And 111 followers now. Keep them coming in because we want to get to 125, but it's not about how many followers we've got. It's about the on-track action tonight. 10 laps gone. However many we can get in the next 22 minutes. Optimum track conditions, and he's very close this time around, Bob.
Yes, so that battle's not the only battle on track at the moment. The one that I've just been keeping my just for the last couple of moments, is between Mayo and Saint Sim fighting for 10th position. So I was wrong on my pit calculations. Oh no, Mayo off on the grass. Craigio was an early pitter, and Cloquet was an early pitter. Vibesy obviously had his very early pit, and Disco Stew and Vintage Racer have just come in at the halfway point.
And we've got Branchy. We've got Branchy around at the hairpin. Thank you, Luke. It's your generosity that keeps things running here on the channel. He's gifted a tier 1 sub to Viper. Fantastic stuff. And here we go. Gavea, Bob, the German rifle, is into sein Pitzen Boxen stop. Here we go. The first of our leaders to be in the pits here.
Yeah, so this is gonna, well, we should see when these two pit, Mint Matt and Psydog, we'll see if there's any difference in their pit stop times. We know Gavea will take tyres. He had that 3.5 second gap up front. There's no point in not taking them.
And there we have it, Luke getting into the lead in the gifted subs. Great, thank you for that, Luke. The generosity as this becomes now the lead battle as the German rifle is into the Boxen, Pitzen, Stopsen, Schitzen, and he's out again because this is the lead battle. Cloquet, he'd like to be part of this action, wouldn't he, Bob? But he cannot be part of this action because he's had a pretty awful run here in this race so far, but it's about these two at the moment at the sharp end of the grid. We'll get back to that Mayo Saint Sim battle in a moment. And I think a lot of us have gone from GT Sport or GT7 to ACC. And these are boys who definitely respect how competitive GT is. Thank you for that, Luke. How good is that? One of our loyal members, our loyal followers here on the KRL channel. Hope you're enjoying season number 4. Wherever you're watching right around the world, hopefully my voice can hold out for the next 20 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't like to complain too much, nobody listens, but I was crook at the start of the week, you can probably tell. But enough about that, Bob, because... Oh, Psydog is sideways almost, but he's managed to keep it together, and Matt is into the pits now as well.
Oh, Mayo! Oh, no! Mayo lost it, went onto the grass, and he actually collected Saint Sim.
And Mayo has collected Saint Sim. Mayo.
Matt in the pits.
Mayo. It's not working, that one for me, but Matt is into the pits. Yep, there we have it for his box and stop, which is German for pit stop. Is he going to take tyres? That is going to be the interesting question. And we can't really see if he's going to take tyres or not as Das goes through the start-finish straight. He's behind Vibesy, but Vibesy is well down the field. Back in 17th position at the moment. Thank you, Voodoo. Need some Nigerian black magic to get this voice through the next 19 minutes, but 12 laps completed.
Here we go. We'll see how much Gavea was held up on his first couple of laps by the traffic that he come out into. Let's see where Matt pops out.
And let's have a look at Gavea, the German rifle there. And where is Matt? Where is Matt? Matt is out. Matt is out of the pits, and I think he's in front of the German rifle, Gavea. But of course, it all comes down to the tyres, doesn't it? When you think about it, Gavea may have tyres. And his rifle...
I believe Gavea has taken tyres. Mint Matt saw that he was stuck in traffic and has just tried for track position.
So there we have it. So Matt going for track position. Gavea is sitting in...
Yes, it's called a motor race, okay? Sorry? We went to car racing.
We went to car racing, yes, that's for sure. We're having a ding-dong car race here at the moment. So Matt has track position over Gavea, the German rifle. This about to get spicy. Big outcome here, says Andrelli. Might have been a little bit of traffic too, says Burrow Dog, for the German rifle. My gun is my friend. My friend is my gun. What movie? It's a Full Metal Jacket, wasn't it, that movie? Not a great ending to that one, but let's hope it's a happier ending for Gavea here tonight. But he is pushing hard, Bob.
Yeah, so he'll want to get the job done on Matt as soon as he can. But, you know, Matt's he's a wily driver, so, you know, he can make that car as wide as anyone.
And he will need to, as Seidel comes into the pits, is along with Auschwitz, who goes through Seidel there. But is Seidel, do we think he's going to benefit from these two maybe having a scrap? As Burrow gets the message, box and stop, box, box, box. He says, Jawohl, mein Kommandant, and he comes into the pit lane there. Wilco inherits the lead, but one's got to say he might be out of contention in terms of a podium finish tonight. He should get the lead. Burrow's calling it. Thumbs up from Luke, and I reckon, is he going to come out? Let's have a look at Seidel.
No.
He's coming out.
They've gone past Seidel. Seidel's taken tyres.
They've gone through. They've gone.
Oh, stop, go.
Oh, and stop-go penalty now for Seidel. Wow, we saw Jono and Cloquet get stop-go penalties off the start, but this... Oh, God!
That was for speeding in the pits.
Indeed.
So that's the, you know, getting used to this title. You have to be down to your pit limiter before you cross that line. You need to hold off on disengaging that pit limiter until you cross that line.
So this is going to throw a Spanner Schnitzel into the works. I've got to say, this is, well, it is two of our race contenders, championship contenders, have had stop-go penalties. Wilco in the lead, getting held up, is he, by Vintage Racer? No, Vintage gets out of the way. And surely Wilco's just going to come in now, doesn't he?
Here we go. It's on. Yep. Seidel, side by side.
Oh, Seidel. Seidel, where is he? Please, Bob, coming through the hairpin.
No, he's backed out. He's backed out.
No, he's backed out. Beg your pardon. Gavea, the German rifle. Matt, the talented Gran Turismo racer, Matt Simmons, 2015 GT Academy champion. Oh my goodness, we've got a stop-go penalty for Branchi as well. But he's well down the field. And the Spanner Schnitzel Schneisen Burrow dog happens a lot at Suzuka. Kanama, says Luke. And Viper saying this is karma for his poor Sniper Elite 4 gameplay earlier today has come back to bite him in the arse. Can we say that? Not quite sure, Bob, but it's 9 p.m. here on the Eastern States, so we're getting a little bit spicy here. It is absolutely on at the front. It is Gavea with his German rifle in one hand, right up behind Matt Simmons. Got to stay neutral, Kid Byers, but it is Matt Simmons.
Wilco in the pits.
And somebody else in the pits. Is it Wilco?
Yep.
Wilco in the pits.
So the leaders have just gone past Wilco. Let's see where he comes out, what sort of gap he's got.
Interesting call from Burrow. He says, if I'm Wilco, I'm not taking tyres. Indeed, he is out of the pits. He's got some clear air as well. So Dask up in P2. P1, I beg your pardon. He takes the race lead, but yet to make his pit stop. And what am I? Oh, that is too close.
Yeah, Gavea, he's definitely taken tyres. He's able to carry a lot more corner speed than Matt at the moment.
And you can see Voodoo saying this is the type of final 15 minutes that we all want to dream of. This is going to go down to the line. 14 minutes remaining now, Luke. Wilco takes tyres, so he's got extra time to rest his wrists. Oh my goodness, that's a tongue twister. It's getting tense. I'm getting sweaty. Oh, down the inside, Bob. Here we go. Oh, no! Bob!
Huge mistake. Huge mistake.
And that is a stop-go penalty again, I think, for Seidel down there. But the big news is Gavea and his German rifle has misfired. And now he's going to be the butt of everybody's jokes here tonight. That's not that great, is it?
Impossible to race with.
Impossible.
No, so that message that popped up, that was to say that Seidel had cleared his stop-go penalty.
There we have it. Yep, good one, good pickup, Bob. I missed that one, thank you. So he has cleared his penalty. But wow, what happened there for Gavea, the man who did not put a foot wrong last week. And unfortunately, the German rifle misfiring indeed. This week, Luke says the rifle has misfired. Unfortunately, it's going to be tough for him to get back into contention with 12 minutes left in this one, Bob.
Yeah, we'll see how much that damage affects the car, but that was, you know, from what we've seen so far, very uncharacteristic mistake. He was obviously just a little bit too eager to get that job done on Matt. He's got another 12 and a half minutes that he could have played the patient game, but he wanted to get that job done, and he's paid the price for it.
Well, the German word for patience, Bob, I'm not too sure what it is, but he needed to have more patience, Steiner, because with 12 minutes left in this race, yep, you got to feel for him, don't you? The smallest mistakes are the ones that cost more. Don't think so, not that one, not a commentator's curse. Viper says God saves his hardest tasks for his toughest soul. Gee, they're getting deep and meaningful in the chat, aren't they, tonight, Bob? They're up and about there. Jesus, that's deep.
Oh, yeah, he's struggling. That damage is significant. Let's watch that gap back to Wilco. Wilco is now in prime position with Seidorf taking that drive through and Gavea having that damage. We could see Wilco come up to second place.
And Wilco, the man who was well off the pace, he reckoned he was 1 to 2 seconds off the pace leading into tonight. He could benefit here from everybody else's misfortune. And Viper says that's why a Jono Stan comeback still on the cards. He's still in it, Jono Stan. Where is he? He's in 18th. You never know. You never know. Funny things have happened. He's 7 laps down though. Patient Steiner. Luke enjoyed that one, making it up as I go along. Nothing wrong with that. If you can hang on here, Trev, you'll get that interview. Yes, we'll finally get that interview that I've been so waiting for so long. And it's going to be interesting to hear from the man in real life and not just from my AI on GT7. Good name for a German pub. No doubt about that. It is getting very murky and very dark indeed. I stood up with 13 minutes left, which means I've been standing up for 3 minutes, and we've got 10 minutes left in this race. And I've got to say, Wilco now is looking good here for a podium finish. Didn't think I'd be talking to this man here tonight, but he's looking good here at the moment.
Yeah, so his last lap, as he just crossed the line, was a 2:04.6. Gavea's last lap was a 2:06.8. So it is all on for Wilco.
So there we have it. Wilco catching up to a damaged German rifle. We'll have to see how to fix the damaged German rifle, something we can focus on for the course of the week. But we've got Mayo here, not just about the front three, mind you, because these two having an almighty scrap here at the moment. Harvey through Spoon. Mayo right up behind Sideways Polka here tonight, and as Mayo goes sideways, no he doesn't, he keeps it on the track. It's a massive jinx. I think we might have, hopefully we haven't put the commentator's curse on Wilco either, Bob, but we'll wait and see how that finds Spoon, who wants to ask his ancestors. And we've got a bit of a theme happening here tonight. And continuing the theme, it's Auschwitz in 4th place. The Germans still in 2nd and 4th. Don't talk
He's
about
very close to Wilco.
Oh, hello.
Very close.
And that is not what Wilco wants. I think Wilco was focusing on what was in front of him, Bob. But here with 9 minutes left, he might have to start looking in the mirrors here.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, you know, sort of coming about. But, yeah, all of a sudden, Auschwitz is now trying to steal that last podium position from Wilco.
And, yep, it's going to be on. So not done with yet. P3, Branchy with a stop-go penalty. Down there in 17th position. But I think he might have just said, you know what, stuff it. I'm just going to keep going no matter what happens. 8.5 minutes left now. Getting very dark here. You can see the lights on these Porsches taking effect. This is a difficult time to drive, isn't it, Bob? The sun's going down. It's always easy to miss your braking point, make a mistake, and next minute you're facing the wrong way. It's very hard to focus, albeit only for 45 minutes this race tonight. Not an endurance round. But Auschwitz, he's just keeping his distance.
Oh,
now
there we go.
Now they're
Seidorf just got it done on Cloakade. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's what you're here for. Seidorf, that was so close. I thought he was going to end up in the fence there, Bob, but he's managed to keep it together.
He's gone defensive.
He's gone defensive. I think we've lost someone off the leaderboard, but anyway, enough about that, because look how close this is. Clocade and Sidorg.
Oh, no!
Oh, no, boys. No, that's not what you want.
Two do not go into one there.
Especially not at the 130R, that's for sure. And they've made contact.
Yeah, Clocade realised that he had actually pushed that too hard going into 130R, and he's conceded the position. So, you know, even if the stewards have a look at that after the race, it's, you know, he's conceded that position.
Well, he's going to be these two boys. One thing you've got to say, coming into tonight, the pace that they had, Bob, they wouldn't be fighting over their schnitzel down there in P9 and P10, that's for sure. But you've got to say that they've got the pace. They're 6.4 seconds off of mark in P8. But with 7 minutes to go, it's a lot of work to do. This
It's down to a second.
is soon.
Wilco is behind Gavea.
Oh, Gavea, the German rifle, has had his moments tonight. You might say that Wilco now in a German sandwich, Bob, with Gavea in second and Auschwitz right behind him.
Yeah, so, yeah, he's going to be feeling like
Don't go
a
there.
bit of a German barbecue at the moment. He's on the spit. Auschwitz is looking to not only take the podium position away from Wilco, it is actually his sibling that both of them are closing in on.
That's right. That's an interesting way to put it. He's got a German sausage in front of him. He's at the barbecue, Wilco, and that's an interesting way to put it, a spit roast. Nobody make any comments. I'm looking at you, Voodoo. Glad we're not doing any moderating tonight, that's for sure, Viper. And Viper's followed us, and he's thinking, what on earth are they talking about? An Englishman and an Aussie talking about a couple of Germans sandwiched either side of Wilco. Oh, and Gavea is off. He is off the track, Bob, and he's off again. Was ist los, Bob?
That damage on that car was significant. He's done well to hold them off for as long as he could. Obviously, that car is struggling. Now, what we've got to watch now is how hungry Auschwitz is, you know, in his fight with Wilco.
So it's going to be interesting to see here. Wilco will want that P2 for the championship. Sorry about that, Bob. Got a little bit excited there. Don't even think about sending me to the cooler. But how hard is he going to go here? And it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. That's for sure.
Getting worse. So we're talking about spit roast. It's getting harder. Oh my lord.
Oh dear. And anybody?
Okay, look, I can't moderate you guys through Twitch chat, so I've got to come and moderate you here. You guys are getting timed out for 30 seconds.
Oh my lord.
Just the wrong. So that is not good, I tell you. But look at this. How close is this on the track? Oh my goodness. This is going to go down right now, here and now, Bob. That voice
into T1.
Oh, right down into turn one. Is Wilco going to fight it? He cuts across. He cuts across, and now Auschwitz has stayed in P3. And this is so close. Gavea there. Don't forget about him in P4. And well, Wilco, is he going to fight it? You can see Auschwitz. He's just popped up in the final few minutes of this one, Bob, and I've got to say Wilco's got to be thinking of the long game. He was coming in to tonight and he talked about damage limitation, but he's on for P2 at the moment. But can he hold on to P2? That's the question with 3 and a bit minutes here.
Yeah, he's got it all to fight for. He's got it all to lose. I mean, the good thing for him is Sidorg and Clocade, they're in their own battle at the moment for 9th and 10th.
9th and 10th, we'll check that out as well, ladies and gentlemen. As we've just been getting a little bit too excited here, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to say, but thank you for sticking with us. Sidorg and Clocade, the two, fighting over who's going to crumb that final schnitzel. And I've got to say that P8, they're coming up to Mark as well in P7, so this could get spicy with less than 3 minutes remaining. Side org, it's difficult in this first sector, Bob, isn't it, to find some space to pass?
Yeah, so these two, because they had very similar pace during qualifying, you know, as they're trying to like come back through the field, they've got their own scrap going on, so it's hindering them a little.
And there we have it. So stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is not over until the fat lady sings. And there we have it, Auschwitz. Gotta get that one right, don't I? 2 minutes left. So what do we got here, Bob? A couple of laps left. This one and maybe another.
Yes. So this and one more. So Auschwitz has actually set the fastest lap of this race. He has the pace. It's not that easy a track to get past. You need to slip, and it's got to be in the right place.
So still plenty to play for. And just recapping, if you're joining us, we've lost a few big names, haven't we, coming in tonight? Contenders here, Bob. Sideorg and Clocaid getting that penalty right off the bat. And then Gouveia as well, having a spin at the hairpin when he was battling with Matt for the lead. But now, I think Gouveia, is he going to just stay there in fourth? I think he's not. Yeah,
it's like your favourite term earlier on, damage limitation.
There we have it. That is the buzzword. Have a shot every time we say damage limitation. We've been a bit naughty tonight, Bob. That voice came in our ear, the voice of reason, saying that we've been timed out for 30 seconds. We've got to keep it family friendly here, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're in Perth or and is that a moment there for somebody, Bob? We'll get to that.
So Auschwitz was a little bit too hot coming down into Spoon, and as he gathered it up, Wilco had a moment, so it's closed and back up again.
Here we have our race leader through the hairpin. Is this... No, it's not going to be the final time, I don't think. Is it 19 seconds?
One
more lap. One more lap. We're going to hear race control let us know that there is still one more lap of this race. Leader is on the final lap. Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can. Give it all you can. Thank you to our race control there. 3, 2, 1, and 0.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic!
Oh, Clocaid having a bit of a ding dong, and Craigio is around.
Craigio, yeah, and he has had a ding dong battle, and that's caught a few people out tonight, hasn't it, Bob? That there must be a magnet for Porsches after that hairpin, because I've seen a couple of guys go in there tonight.
Yeah, I think that's why Matt was short shifting out of the hairpin earlier on tonight. So if you're staying in that lower gear and you're sticking your boot down, chances are you're dicing.
And you can see some traffic getting out of the way there. I think it's Vibesy. This battle, I think Auschwitz going through those Degner curves there, through the S's and into the Degner curves, might have lost some time there because it looks like he's dropped back a touch, Bob.
Oh, yeah, he might benefit a little bit here from the slip.
As we see, final lap of this race, ladies and gentlemen. What a race it's been. We say it every week. Somebody off there, I think that's just someone getting out of the way, is it not?
Yes it is. So, no, Wilco has managed to hold on magnificently, and the traffic has favoured him in this battle in the final lap.
Well, we said it's not over until the fat lady sings, but this man, who was a late starter in Indianapolis, he came in, the preparation wasn't great, but here tonight, he has managed to reign supreme here at Suzuka. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, Matt Simmons, across the line, the checkered flag. He's done it all, this man. Great drive. He's done it in GT7. And he's done it as well here.
This is fantastic.
Wilco holds on.
Valiant effort to hold on to P2 there.
And there we have it, P3 for Auschwitz at Gavea. In P4 as the fireworks start here, and then Dask as well. This man,
look at that gap.
A long
that
way
goes to show the pace. The pace that top four had was phenomenal.
And he's all on his own, but we might get back to this battle if you don't mind. The battle for P8 between Sideorg and Cloquet. No love lost between these two. Round the spoon curve for the final time. Well, Matt might have crossed the line, but these two, they're going to be disappointed with the result here tonight, but they're racers, aren't they, Bob? They're going right to the line.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that gap where it was, you knew that these two were going to have a fight right to the end.
And big shout out to Cloquet after that drive-through penalty, Burrow, that's for sure. Really impressive effort. And final corner. Oh, here we go. It's not over yet. There's contact, not for the first time tonight. These two have bumped into each other. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to win, Bob? And Cloquet's going to hang on.
Well done.
There we have it. Disco.
It's called a motor race, okay? Sorry. We went to car
Dask
race.
takes out 5th position. Awesome drive.
What a result. Dask taking 5th.
Disco
Stu in 7th.
Good result.
Stu, Mark
Ledwidge.
So there we have it. What a race. Cloquet, we said, good effort, Bob, wasn't it, after the battles earlier in the race? Yeah. Sideorg in 9th, those two. What is it, a 10th between them at the line? 45 minutes, and it came down to the final corner. Wilco says, I would have taken P5 before tonight. Things went my way. Lucky. You legend. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Wilco. Sideorg game didn't shift me from 2nd to 1st, so I flew into the pits. Andrelli says, great race, fellas. Great graphics too, Andrelli. Loving your work there. What an asset you've been to the KRL family in the early stage.
Okay. Yes, it's called a motor race, okay? Sorry. We went to car racing.
There we have it, blah, 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 blah. The voice is gone, Bob. As we wait for our podium finishers to enter the chat, let's recap here on what we have seen. That was fun. Matt Simmons into the chat. That's right, Matthew Simmons from the GT fame is in the chat, says yes, that was fun, and we'll be talking to you very shortly. R18 plus commentary tonight, is that a fair comment? We weren't that bad, surely, but anyway, we might.
It was the intimation, so yeah, we deserved that.
Yep, that's okay. That's okay. We've been in the. We've got a yellow card and we're back, so don't give him a big head. Thank you, Viper. Matt, that was fun. Commentary interviews coming up. Stay tuned, Burrow. You might have to head to bed. R18 plus. That sounds a bit raunchy. No, says Wilco to Sideorg. Congrats on the win. Cheers, mate. Just held on to win in the end. And let's have a look at what's going on here. The championship points. No, we're not looking at that. We'll go to the thumbnails and see what's happening there as we wait for our drivers to come in to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Before we wait for that, Bob, what a race we've seen once again. This championship is serving it up week after week. Plenty of action again tonight.
Yeah, no, brilliant battles. Good recovery drives from those that picked up penalties. The scraps right at the front, you know, when Gavea was trying to get past Matt was wily. He just, you know, he balked, you know, every opportunity that Gavea tried to take, and he just got a little bit too eager coming out of the hairpin, and that cost him the race win, but I don't think he'll be upset. He still finished in 4th.
And great result tonight as well for Matt. We said that. Wilco, damage limitation. And we're going to wait for our, that's right, commentary interviews coming up. Luke, also Luke wants to see Trev and Bob commentating from the hot tub time machine.
That would get us a timeout.
As the AM class loading into the, how would I explain that to the missus? Going to the hot tub, dear, with an Englishman from Perth who talks like Dame Edna Everidge, that'd be a hard one to explain, wouldn't it? But Matt, jumping into the Discord chat, AM class loading into the podium interviews. Join us on Discord. AM drivers walking to the podium room. They've got their bottles of water. They've taken their helmets off, Bob. They've got those little towels that they use. You know those little towels that they use after the race?
Yeah.
Those little washers that they use to wipe the sweatiness off themselves. And they've got every right to be sweaty, though, Bob, because that was an intense 45 minutes, wasn't it? There's going to be a few sweaty palms out there tonight.
Oh God, yeah, and hats off to those AM drivers that finished within the top 10. So Disco Stew, obviously, he was the top of the AM drivers. Mark Ledwidge, just behind him in 7th, and then who have we got? We got Craigio just outside of the top 10.
And there we have it. So we'll just we're waiting for our drivers to come in, and while we wait for that, we'll just recap the results. Have we got, I think we've got the man himself. I've got to start with this, Bob. We've got Matt Simmons, our race winner for the pro guys here tonight. He is with us. Matt, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, Trev.
There we go, unmuting yourself. Perfect timing, mate. Talk us through I'm a little bit giddy at the moment, but talk us through your race in all seriousness, mate. You benefited from a few of the other guys had a few bit of misfortune there tonight, mate, but you did what you needed to do and you took P1.
Yeah, that was the race, I think. It was a matter of not cracking, and I had plenty of moments. Phil Fugavere, he was on it. He disappeared in the first stint and was very rapid. I enjoyed that battle. After the pit stop, I took the gamble of not taking tyres. I knew it wouldn't pay off, so I'd try and hold on, but yeah, fair play. We had some good battles, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened. He came out of that hairpin, but I know it was slippy coming out of the exit, so I imagine he just got on a loud pedal and that was it. So he was the passenger from there, so I was a bit unfortunate. But and also Simon, he was obviously rapid at the start. I enjoyed racing him in the first stint, and then he had the mishap in the pits. So that yeah, he was obviously going to be up there as well, so it would have been a three-way fight. So that would have been awesome. But yeah, then those last, I'd say 6 or 7 laps, tyres were gone. Rears were shattered, so I was just trying to hold on, had a few scary moments, and I could see Wilco on that catching, so fortunate I didn't bin it and was able to get the win, so yeah, very, very happy.
Great stuff, Matt. Thank you for that great performance this week, taking P1, of course, after the issues you had last week, mate. Congratulations, and yeah, fantastic performance tonight.
Thanks, mate. Bit of a redemption for last week.
Great stuff. That's right. Matt Simmons, you heard right. The Matt Simmons joining us tonight here in the post-race driver interviews as we head along to our man in P2. He probably didn't think he was going to get P2 tonight. He was talking down his chances of finishing on the podium. I speak of Jason Wilkinson. Wilco, have you got us?
Loud and clear, and that is absolutely correct. Going into tonight, I was thinking, I can't even crack into the 4s. I don't like my chances, and yeah, I got very, very lucky.
And wow, that's P2 tonight, Wilco. Surely that's a matter of, was it a matter of damage limitation, which was your buzzword coming into tonight?
No, I think it was more luck than anything. Let's be honest. I would have been 4th, quite comfortably behind the front 3, but yeah, got lucky. So I'll take that one. And yeah, move on. We've got a week off, and we'll go to Spa.
Week off before Spa, mate. Congratulations still. I know you were talking it down, but you took P2 in the end, mate, and that championship lead still yours after round 3. Enjoy the week off.
Grazie.
Grazie. And got the Italian theme happening tonight. I tell you what, Bob, Auschwitz, is he joining us? Have we got him here in the interviews here tonight?
Yeah, that's him. I believe that Auschwitz is Scapegoat. Is that right?
Yep, that's the man with the Pringles. Auschwitz, talk us through it, mate. P3 tonight. You did have a rather interesting race, mate, but are you happy with the podium in the end?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't think I'd be getting another podium this week. Yeah, it's one of those another one of those races where it just I just survived and managed to get up towards the front of the pack. So I don't think I qualified too well. I think I was 6th or 7th there, but with my brother having his incident with severe damage, and then obviously pit blunder for Sidog, yeah, I managed to get a bit closer to the front, and then those last couple of laps with Jason, just trying my hardest, trying to get you for P2, mate. But oh my god, I just kept spinning the wheels out of every single turn, trying to keep with you. So yeah, it was a fun race all around.
Yeah, good battle, mate. Good battle.
Good battle, great respect there, mate. Thank you for your kind words tonight, and congratulations on P3.
Thank you, mate. I just want to apologise to Blokade at the start. I'm not sure what happened, but I think he got a drive-through penalty straight off the line, and then in through turn 2 and 3, I think we had a bit of a rubbing and he went off. So I just want to apologise if that was my fault there. I wasn't sure what happened.
No worries. Thank you for that, mate. P3 in the end. We've heard from the pro guys. There we have it, Matt, Wilco, and Auschwizard. As Bob, take it away. We've got our other top 3 here in the podium interviews, mate. Take it away.
Yeah, so Disco Stew, magnificent effort to bring it to P1 for the AM drivers. Brilliant effort. So how did the race go for you?
Yeah, thanks for that. Pretty ecstatic with that one. Yeah, it was going pretty well. Actually, wasn't sure. I didn't think I had the talent to go all the way with one set of tyres, so I was always thinking I'd change and come out of the pits. I think about 11 seconds behind Craig and Mark in there, and was just slowly catching them over the second stint. And so I'm not sure whether they changed or not. I didn't think so, but just got really lucky. They both went off towards the end and went sailing past them for the win. So just luck, really.
No, you got to be in it to win it. You were in the right place at the right time, and obviously it was a bit unfortunate that Craigio had that spin at the hairpin, but you got the job done, and you brought it home in 6th position. Well done.
Yeah, that's amazing. 6 overall with these guys, so it's fantastic. Enjoyed that one. Thanks.
No, brilliant result. So next was Mark Ledwidge, brought it home in 7th. How was today's drive for you?
Yeah, g'day guys. Wasn't too bad. I'm not a fan of Suzuka. I've never been able to quite master it. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I probably should have changed my tyres, but I didn't again. I didn't learn from last week either, so yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, there were a number of people that tried to, mix it up a bit this week. Obviously, the race winner, he didn't take tyres this week, but obviously that was to try and hold race position. Yeah, it's a very tricky track. So many changes of direction, and some of those high speeds, hard braking corners. Very difficult track. You did really well out there tonight.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys.
So Craigio brought it home in P11. Still a brilliant effort, and it was just unfortunate that you had a couple of incidents out there. Otherwise, you would have found yourself a bit higher up in the field.
Yeah, I don't even know how I finished that, to be honest. My tyres were done by the end of it. I could barely keep it on the track.
So were you another one of the non-tyre takers?
Yeah, I didn't take tyres, and then Disco Stew was catching me at a rate of knots the last couple of laps, and I just couldn't keep it on the track. I kept on spinning it on like every corner, but got P3 in the end.
No, really good effort. Really good effort. Yeah, every driver out there tonight. That's a very tricky track. So I'll hand you back over to Trev.
Great stuff, working beautifully, Bob Hoskins. Thank you to our top 3 guys from each class. It's been a fantastic evening. We are almost out of time, as we'll catch up with some of the chat there. Voodoo Viper, thanks for the follow. Thanks for watching. Burra, as always. Mick, also in the chat. Luke, great stuff. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you round 3 of this KRL Season 4 Championship in the Porsches, the GT Cup. Thank you, Luke. He says, thanks, Bob and Trev. Great to have your company once again. Great to bring you this race. Don't forget, we've got next week off, ladies and gentlemen, before we head to the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. That's a track that Matt knows a bit about as well. But be